There's a new effort to support families in crisis after experiencing a stretch of gun violence nearly 2 weeks ago. Atlanta rapper Quavo, along with the Rocket Foundation, launched an emergency therapy fund after 49 people were shot in the city from July 24th to the 28th. Joining me now is Greg Jackson. He's the president of the Rocket Foundation. And Greg, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You know, we know that shootings and crimes like these have a huge impact on the community. I understand 2 victims had close ties to the Rocket Foundation.
Yeah, one participant, one of the folks who were lost in these shootings was a participant of our Rocket Camp in 2024, and another was a staffer for the Offenders Alumni Association, which is one of the grantees of the Rocket Foundation and someone that we've supported and worked with for a few years now, sadly.
Wow. What is your first thought when you heard about the number of people who were shot in the course of a weekend?
I mean, it's devastating, and we know that gun violence traumatizes families and communities, and even those who survived are going to deal with a lifetime of trauma. Personally, I'm a survivor of gun violence, and I was shot 12 years ago, and I'm still feeling the impacts of that. And unfortunately, so many families in Atlanta are going through that, and it's devastating. And it's also devastating in a time where we're seeing violence go down in Atlanta. We're seeing historic reductions throughout the city and throughout the entire United States, with a 20% reduction this year. But these devastating moments don't feel any better for those families.
Yeah, we heard earlier on the show from City Council member Bakhtiari. She was talking about what Atlanta's going to do to try to stop the violence. Do you think there's more that needs to be done, or are we doing enough?
Definitely need to do more. I mean, this is one of the few cities in the country that has not invested in community-based strategies to prevent and intervene violence. We have places like Baltimore that are seeing historic lows in violence, but that's a result of them investing in community violence intervention programs and hospital-based violence intervention programs and strengthening abilities to heal and help families and communities recover. And Atlanta has a long ways to go there. The investments there are fairly low for a city of that size. But that's why, you know, as a Rocket Foundation, we stand in solidarity with the community-based organizations. We created this emergency trauma fund to help, fill some of the gap and fund some of the therapeutic services for those who have been impacted. And our Spark grants are going directly to the community-based groups, knowing how important of a role they play to prevent violence. And so I hope that, you know, in partnership with the city, that we can invest more in violence prevention, as so many other cities have done, because we know that our lives are critical to save.
Yeah, you mentioned your foundation. Go with me in detail about how you guys are doing that. How are you helping out these families?
So the Rocket Foundation was created by Quavo and Takeoff's family after the tragic death of Takeoff in 2023. Takeoff was lost really from an act of community violence, and Quavo wanted to meet that pain with purpose and help change things. And so we launched the foundation then. Since then, we've invested funding into 10 different community-based organizations. We've had 2 Rocket Summits. Our first one welcomed Vice President Kamala Harris to talk about this issue and how important this is. Our most recent one featured the All the Smoke podcast team, and we did a live filming at the summit. We also did a Mother's Day event honoring mothers who have lost their children to gun violence and showing our love and care for them in this really dark time. And in the future, we're continuing to build a coalition of influencers and artists and survivors across the country, just like Quavo and Takeoff's family, that are stepping up to take action on this issue and help change the narrative about how we can respond to these tragic moments. And so we're excited to be a part of this. Quavo has been to the White House to meet with the vice president. He was in Congress, met with over 20 members of Congress to talk about this issue. And so we're really just bringing culture to policy and really pushing forward to see some change.
Yeah, Greg, I'm sure you're not just looking for the big names to get involved. Some might be watching today that may want to donate or want to help you out. How do they get involved?
Yeah, you can go to rocket-foundation.org. And you can get involved with us, but you also can support our grantees. We have local groups like Hope Hustlers, Cure Violence, Offenders Alumni, Girasol Wellness, Mothers Against Gang Violence, and so many other that are community-based, that were born and founded in Atlanta. And those are our partners that we are arm in arm with every day. And so we encourage you to volunteer with them. But also, if you feel like donating to the Emergency Trauma Fund, you can go to rocket-foundation.org. Or find us on social media.
All right, Greg Jackson, thanks for joining us, and appreciate what you're doing for our community, man.